UFC 269 was on the weekend. Big one, big card. I was very excited about it beforehand. And the main card didn't disappoint. Very, very happy with how everything went. Exciting fights. Nothing where you kind of just like sleeping through it. Jeff Neal, Ponzinibbio was okay. It's the only decision. The decisions always seem so boring after all the other fights are so good. You know, all the finishes and the excitement and, you know, Cody and Kaikara and the 2 title fights, there's something about it. And then when you have a fight right in the middle of the card that's just a decision, it was good, but just leaves that intermission taste in your mouth, you know? That's my opinion. Prelims were good. Tai Tuivasa, KOs Augusto Sakai. To be expected, to be honest. I don't rate Sakai that highly. Number 11 in the world, but he had a good run. Got the ranking, but hasn't done well as of late. Tai should be ranked now. He should be fighting someone top 10. I think Sakai was 11. So Tai should be, 11 or 12 after the rankings come out. I think he should fight someone like Tybura. That'd be a really good fight. Yeah, that incident with the shoey where people are throwing shoes, and Tai spoke afterwards about an official getting in his way and pushing him out really hard and stuff. But sometimes the security guards, it's not the military. It's not a war. Just let them have fun. You train so hard for that moment, and you get to walk through the crowd and everyone's cheering you, and in Ty's case, throwing shoes and hoping you drink beer out of them. I think just the security guards need to relax a little bit, What else we got? Dominic Cruz was impressive. Great fight. That was a really good fight. Dom's still cracking. I don't know what he's going to do about the title and stuff, but him versus Jose Aldo makes sense to me. Dom Cruz, Jose Aldo, legend versus legend, former champ, former WEC guys. That makes sense to me at this point. Dom versus Jose Aldo at 135 makes a lot of sense. We'll move on to the main card. I don't like doing recaps for too long. I know you guys like listening to 50-minute podcasts about fights you've already watched. You need a 10-minute show. This is just a little 10-minute roundup, guys. Sugar Sean. I'm very high on Sean because his vision of the game is at a very high level. When I say vision of the game, I mean his ability to make decisions under pressure while being aware of his surroundings is very, very high level for the ranking and level of opponent he's currently fighting. He needs to be in the top 15 now. Old mate that he fought, the Brazilian boy, I can't remember his name. He was no joke, and he took it to Sean a little bit. Sean's just on another level. He needs to move up and fight someone in the top 15. He needs to get paid too. Like 70k is not enough for the amount of impressions that guy's generating. I think I saw a video of Dana. He's like 3.2 million views on Sean's Contender Series fight from a couple of years ago. I mean, that's like another level of viewership, and Dana always uses this example, and the UFC uses this example of, Khabib generates 20 million views when he has a video when he was fighting, and he was paid justly for that. I think 70,000 when you're generating that much interest, and his merchandise is selling out like crazy. If you guys want to go watch Sean on Food Truck Diaries, that was a really good insight into like the merchandise process of what happens with the UFC fighters and how much they get paid. I think that was maybe a year and a half ago. Really good episode. The thing that I was most excited about was Kai Kara France. Obviously, being a New Zealand guy, I'm here in Australia. It's exciting to see the New Zealand guys do well, the Oceania guys do well. I think no one in Oceania was surprised that Kai was able to KO Cody. Especially if you've been watching Kai since the old Hex days and AFC days and stuff in Australia. He is an outstanding striker and an outstanding powerhouse at 125. I mean, the guy hits hard for 125. I was disappointed in the UFC's promotion of it being about Cody being the former champ. I know they got to do what they got to do, but Cody being the former champ and coming on in with all this hype around the champion is changing weight classes and this is going to be like the revival of Cody Garbrandt, but man, 5 losses out of 6, I think, or 4 out of 5 losses the last couple of years. A couple of them finishes as well. I think Dana in the press conference was saying how Cody's been clipped a couple of times, and I agree. He's a young guy, but he's taken a lot of damage, and he has been KO'd a lot. One more KO. He needs one more chance at 125. If he gets finished again, you're off to Bellator, bro. You need to move, because you can't risk. I hope that he's made his money and that he has himself set up for the future, because I don't see Cody in the UFC in 5 years' time, or maybe even in 3 years' time. I hope he proves me wrong. I like Cody. He seems like a good guy. He's a good fighter, former champion. I just don't see him in the UFC in the next 3 years. I think he's out before 2024. Hopefully he proves me wrong. What do I know? I'm just a guy talking about fighting on the internet. Kai deserves that title shot. I think if Cody had won, the press conference goes differently. Dana's talking about Cody fighting the belt, and they're moving through, and Cody can keep moving, and he skips the line in a sense and fights the winner of Moreno Figueiredo. He seemed tentative on Kai, and I just don't. Yeah, this is the problem with not having mandatory challenges, and yeah, that mandatory stuff in boxing makes it difficult too. They're not the fights you necessarily want to see; they're the fights you have to see. But I think Kai Moreno is a great fight. I think Kai Davison Figueiredo is a great fight. I really don't think either of them are bad fights. And the Oceania community always gets behind the pay-per-view. There's a 0% chance it happens in Australia or New Zealand, I think, in the next 12 months, with things the way they're going here with COVID. But I think either of those title fights is great for Kai. And I think there's no one else for him to fight. He should just move up. He should just fight for the title next. We'll move on to the title fights. Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes. Wow. Blew the roof off the place, didn't they? Just absolutely incredible fight. Really, really entertaining. Juliana just showed that pitbull style, kind of crown of the head down, just swinging, getting those looping shots. Amanda was just not on tonight. What didn't look like the champ, looked like a mid-level UFC fighter. She kind of clipped Juliana once and then just went in for the KO, just swinging wildly for the KO, and it just wasn't her. And maybe that overhand right does land a lot, but the champions normally can adapt as they go. You don't see Usman getting cracked by Colby and then just going crazy trying to get it back. It's a really mid-level thing to do, and not what Amanda would normally do. It wasn't a normal performance for her by any means, but you gotta give it to Juliana Pena, man. She had a whole story about how Amanda's been ducking her. I don't really buy into that too much. I don't think Amanda Nunes was ducking her. I think Amanda's trying to get paid. Biggest fight she can take. I'd fight Ronda Rousey too for $2 million. No offense, everyone out there, but I would definitely fight anyone for $2 million, or if someone out, versus fighting Juliana. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Doesn't make dollars and cents, I should say. But yeah, congrats, new champ, Juliana Pena. I've been a big fan of her since The Ultimate Fighter. I've always followed her around. She's been really good, and she's the champ. So I imagine the rematch is coming. I don't think Amanda defends 45 again right now. I think she fights Juliana back to back. I think that comes April, May next year, the rematch. The main event, I was disappointed. I'm a big Dustin fan. I think it was more heartbreaking, and I use the word heartbreaking maybe because Dustin did first, but it was more heartbreaking for me because Dustin got losing by the same submission again. It's like the curse, right? I can't imagine if he ever gets a third shot, someone gets his back, it's going to cross his mind in that moment that this is going to be a third time in a row I'm getting choked. I just hope that doesn't happen. I think Dustin fights for another title. I think he gets one more chance to become undisputed champ. I'd like to see him go to welterweight, but I don't know how he hangs with Colby and Usman. Those two are at a lock position at the top, and then there's the rest of the welterweights underneath. Those two are within millimeters of each other, and then at number 3 really starts here. It really starts a lot lower. I think Dustin going up though, Dustin going to welterweight would be really interesting, really cool fights for him. I think he should stay at lightweight, and I think he should fight Michael Chandler. That would make the most sense to me. Chandler's coming off the losses. Dustin needs to prove himself against another top flight contender. He's already fought Dan. Beneil and Islam are already booked. So the only fight that makes sense for me is Dustin versus Mike. But that, oh man, where does that send Charlie Olives? Jesus Christ. Where is that going to put Oliveira in the mix? Who does he fight? Who does he defend the belt against? The guy's got 32, something like 32 fights and 19 finishes. He's got to be near Anderson for top all-time finishes. He has to be close to Anderson in that regard. The problem with Charlie Oliveira now is he's took out Ferguson, took out Dustin, took out Chandler already. Hooker just lost. Beneil and Islam are going to fight, so maybe the winner of that. I don't think he waits for the winner though. I'm not sure when Beneil and Islam are going to fight, but I actually can't imagine the UFC giving it to Conor, which is really silly. But I really think that I'd actually like Conor to come back and fight Dan Hooker. I think that'd be a better fight for Conor and for Dan too. Good money. I think Conor versus Dan is the fight to make on the mid-level, and if Conor beats Dan, they're going to give him the title shot straight away, regardless if he really deserves it for beating Dan Hooker. But I think Beneil and Islam are going to fight, and then the winner has to fight Oliveira, and maybe the loser fights whoever wins between Dustin and Chandler. It's a tough one at lightweight. There's like 7 guys who could fight for the belt at any one time, and no one's going to say like, oh, they don't deserve it. Justin, oh shit, I forgot about Justin Gaethje. Yeah. Justin's next. Beneil and Islam are going to have to wait. Maybe Conor could fight the loser of Oliveira and Justin Gaethje when he comes back. Yeah, Gaethje's next. I knew I was forgetting someone. Gaethje's next. Beneil and Islam. The winner will fight the winner of that. It's like a little lightweight tournament, but I feel like it's a tournament that never ends at lightweight. It was happening with Dustin and Gaethje when they fought a couple of years ago, just before Dustin fought Khabib, and Max could jump up, I guess. If Max loses to Alex Volkanovski again, he should go up. Yeah. Wow, what an interesting division. That's it, guys. That's the whole recap of UFC 269. My name's Adam Myers. I own a club called the Story Centre in Melbourne. It's an MMA gym and Taekwondo gym. We have full functioning 24/7 access gym too. We're doing these recaps after every pay-per-view. Like and subscribe down below to the video to learn how to do more kicks, more martial arts techniques, hear about MMA, just chat some crap about the UFC and some other MMA boxing events. Hope to see you guys later on the channel. If you liked the video, comment below. If you completely disagree with me, comment below. Tell me how stupid I am. Tell me I know nothing about martial arts. What does a couple hundred matches in 10 years fighting do? Probably nothing, guys. I don't know anything more than anyone else. I'm just guessing what's going to happen next. Anyway, if you liked the video, like I said, like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.